Gemini, welcome to your Sagittarius season reading, December 2024 season reading. All information to work with me one-on-one is below. Gemini sun, moon, and rising. My information for the website is below. Direct scheduling link is below, and the Patreon link for the extended version of this video will also be below. So check that out there. But let's get right into your reading. Mercury retrograde starts as this comes out. I'm doing it the day before. Normally you and Virgo, Mercury ruled signs will feel, or stelliums in these signs, Gemini or Virgo, usually will be more affected than most, and then the sign that Mercury is in, of course. All right, Gemini. Looks like Mercury's coming out to play. So we have the Two of Swords, that just took way too long. The Two of Swords, the Seven of Cups, the Moon, and Mercury. This looks like something around the full moon or the new moon in Sagittarius in about a week after this comes out, Sunday, the December 1st. That is when a lot more will be revealed to you. And what will be revealed to you is whatever's been in between, whatever ideas, whatever aspirations have been caught between, you've been caught in between them. It's possible that your heart has not been connected to it. It's also been maybe some smoke and mirrors, and you just had a lot, even though Mercury retrograde can bring that. And it may for you, but the clarity comes around the full moon. This is also about utilizing the resources that you have and letting yourself dream for some of you. It's about letting go of the logic here. This is more about getting in tune with your inner guidance, attuning to that part of your nature, and using the skills on your table for when whatever it is that gets shown to you. This part of you that you may have to walk down this road alone. This is about you. This is about seeing something you've needed to see, especially if you've been deceived by a Pisces or a Sagittarius. For those of you, something's coming out about, it could be related to a partnership, one-on-one partnership. This could be business. This could be love. Whatever's been not coming, like there's something that you've been questioning about this person. Okay. There's something that you've been questioning about this person, and whatever you've been going back and forth about, whatever it is that you just couldn't see, you're going to see it on the full moon. And then for some of you, you may have to decide what you're going to do right away. There are times for quick decisions because you know and you can feel it. And there are times to sit on things. But you've been waiting for this answer, and whether you realize it or not, you're equipped to handle the situation. It clarifies emotions that you've been having too for a while, especially if it's been a couple months. Also, we're going to talk a little bit how Saturn went direct to we're in half moon time. So we're in between the moons right now. And just a little over a week ago, Saturn went direct in Pisces. And we'll get more into this, of course, in the second part. But there's something that's been moving forward in your life. Some dreams, some plans. And it needs you to keep your heart open. It needs you to be connected to yourself right now and connected to what you really believe and how you see yourself moving forward with what you have on your table. because it's possible, now going back to this person or this partnership or this situation that you're in with someone who knows how to use their words. They know how to get what they want from you. They know how to make things seem not what they appear to be. But for some reason, you may have thought this person was a support. I hate to say it, but for a lot of you could be seeing someone's true colors, and you've known all the time. I just don't think you wanted to see it in this person. And it's also going to show you something about yourself that maybe you didn't want to see either, but you have the power and you have the power, but you also have this is the motivation. And it's even though it can really hurt, Gemini, I understand it can hurt to have to see certain things about yourself and about others, and you know that, of course. I just think that it's going to be so refreshing to you, and it's going to give you this validation that I don't think you needed. Especially, I want to say for Gemini moons too, because the moon is out and it's the emotional, what drives you, right? So this motivation to be maybe a little bit more independent, to have independent thought, I'm going to do it more and more. You're Gemini, you should write. I know I said should, but you should get writing. Writing, there is an author, I have it right here on the table, Deirdre Nansen McCloskey, who wrote Economical Writing, and I love how this author puts it so clearly that writing is thinking. And Jupiter's been retrograde in your sun, moon, or rising. It's time to get writing. It's time to get thinking clearly, getting your emotions straight. Focus on what you want. I know it can be hard to get focused, but at the moon, a lot comes into perspective. Maybe even opportunities, maybe a new love interest. You have all of the kings here. Someone who maybe you thought, or all of the kings, all of the cups here. Someone maybe that you didn't know or didn't think that would add up to be who they are in your eyes, or maybe you didn't see them as the king because before you had a different perspective that could only perceive them as the page. And it's because of your vulnerability and your ability to get still with yourself. And if you can't, writing is a way you're sitting still and you're writing, that is still a centering happening, a connection to earth happening, a connection to your mind happening here. And we have another 4. It's time to be more generous at this time. Be generous, but be very intentional about your generosity with your words and with your money. Be very clear and concise about how you want to utilize your spending, how you spend your time and your mind, how you spend your money outside, how you spend your emotions, that all of that stuff may come up for you at this time because you may be rethinking, reevaluating. And if you've already been kind of doing that, you're going to get to the nitty gritty at this time, especially during the retrograde. There's a vulnerability that takes, okay. Looks like it came early for me. I have a Virgo stellium. Okay. It looks like it takes a certain vulnerability for you to get centered and in a place of security with yourself. It may take extra time. You may have been in a long spurt of being overly here, there, and everywhere, or even the past few days or the past week or since Mercury has moved into Sagittarius, you may have felt this. And you may be keeping too much inside. So recently I was remembered through a journey with my mentor that the light is more beneficial when it's used. So what is good? What good am I? I'm still a light and amazing, but what good is it? Let me rephrase that. What good is it that I have these skills and I wasn't using them? Now, before I started my channel, my brother told me to do it years ago, but I didn't have the confidence or wherewithal that you more naturally have, I find, but it was also a personal journey, of course. the reason why I'm saying that is because this is a personal journey for you. This is feeling so secure in your emotions, the masculine, the femininity, and whatever it is that you're presenting. That at some point it felt like play, or it felt like, I'll just try this out. And now there's so much thought, there's so much truth and reality behind holding on to something, and holding on to, whether it's holding on to what worked before, but it's showing not to work anymore. It's time, the switch up, sometimes the switch ups in our lives, like the things that we didn't see before, and then we see them in those moments of aha, or clarity. It's not just for that situation. It's actually to shift the entirety of you. Shift your emotions towards your dreams, towards your, if that's what this is, or your goals. Personal, money. There's something becoming very clear between the way you think and the money that you have created and generated. It may be important at this time to be very generous with what it is that you have an abundance of. Now, going back to the magician on your table, do you have abundance of knowledge? Do you have emotional, you're clear and you feel emotionally open and able to help? Do you have an overabundance of energy where you can help people out with things that they need to be done? There is a part of giving, of course, it's holiday season, but there's a giving to a giving to you, a generosity to you, that this Jupiter in retrograde could have maybe put into perspective, where you've been maybe overextending in one area, and because it's compensating for another area. The biggest example I can give you is that a lot of times we'll say, because Venus is the planet of love and money and manifestation, those two things are linked together. That's my way of viewing it. It's because it's a Venus thing. It's how you expend your money, how you utilize it, how you interact with love and money, with your relationship to it, and then beyond that, the relationship to those people who you're interacting with, and so on and so forth. And usually, and what I found in my own personal life at times, we'll overcorrect or concentrate in our work area, because that's where we excel, that's where we get validation, whatever it is, right? But then we get cranky and annoyed at our partner like this, or your kids, or whomever it is, your friends, your relationships. Usually there's something out of balance. Usually you're overcorrecting it, or if you're getting too emotional at work, then you're putting way too much value in that work and not enough value in your relationships. So all of that extra energy needs to be put over there instead. For some of you, this is really about yourself and working on something for yourself, something you can possibly offer to the world, which is why I'm telling you to write or create somehow, especially something that's connected to an idea that came up about a few months ago. I'm looking at the moon here, which is the Pisces eclipse. So I just want to look at my notes really quick. Yep. Because you might feel a trajectory. At that point, you felt like you wanted to do something or put something out there, for Gemini risings especially. And it's because you maybe had an idea around that time, and you're meant to develop it until the next round of eclipses, where then it maybe becomes clear if you want to keep moving forward with it or drop it in general. So whatever that idea was, and if you've been playing with it, now is a great time to do that. And it's also a great time to look over anything connected with literally where you're going, how your day-to-day life, how you spend your time, and how that also associates with your goals. Does it always have to look linear? No. Does it make you happier? Do you feel more fulfilled when you do certain things? Do you have more energy when you add a walk to your day? That's what I'm talking about here. That's what I'm talking about. A lot of emotional understanding leads to mental processing, leads to emotional and money understanding at this time. the bottom of the deck, you know, if we keep going. But for those of you who are looking for your partner to be maybe more vulnerable with you, or if this is about a partnership for some of you, when they give you a little, accept it, because there's more to come after that. They give you a little bit more emotion at one point, or more understanding of who they are, or trying to connect with you. Let them. That will open up the gate for more understanding, more time, more energy. And if this is about needing to leave a business partnership or change trajectory, the idea may turn into a very long-term thing, and you have the capability and the wherewithal to set forth on this journey and on this time at this time. You just have to be willing to start step by step and see what comes to you as you do those, even the mundane step by steps, right? Very Venus in Capricorn. And that would be in your, that'll help your mind and your resources. Anywhere you may need to reassess quality. That's what I would call this, reassessing quality and what quality is to you at this time. Okay? All right, Gemini, all information to get a look at the second part is in the first link on Patreon that comes out as this comes out. I'm also going to be putting these readings on Patreon first. So even if you sign up for free, you're going to get these right to your email instead of having to go look for them. And second part on Patreon, and then all information to work with me one-on-one is below. I do astrology chart readings, tarot readings, Reiki, and astrology life coaching, and those you can do add-ons. And and if you want to email me and talk a little, there's a contact page on my website, but also you can email me directly because that will also be below. So a lot of exchanging here, a lot of information here, and energy behind it. Very productive month if you use the information wisely. All right, you've known, and now you know. So now what are you going to do with what you know? All right, we'll see you soon. Oh, and happy Thanksgiving if you celebrate, or happy holidays.